This is Remote Daily, your daily dose of inspiration. This is Remote Daily, an oasis of innovation for your mind, your soul, your heart. Connect, act, recharge with Remote Daily. This is Remote. I said Remo, yeah. Remo Daily.
Woo! That was awesome.
Rock and roll from St. Louis / Tucumán / Cape Cod. Thank you, E&D. And for everybody who is wondering, hey, where did my meditation go? We are awaiting Jade, who is just finishing a class. So we are hoping for her to pop up any minute. And then we will share a moment for everyone here together. But for now, I'm so happy to have you on Remote Daily today, Jaleesa. You went to Washington University in St. Louis.
Yeah.
There you go. We have 2 St. Louis's in the room.
Hey.
So you're getting a lot of thumbs up here. And you got a business degree. And then you became a DJ. So for some parents, this might be not the easiest journey. What did your parents say when you said, well, Mom, so I finally figured out what I'm going to do?
Yeah, my mom kind of pretty much said it just like that. So you went to this amazing school, got a business degree, and now you're a DJ. Why is that? But now she's extremely proud of me. But yeah, it was just a time when I've always loved music. My family's always been musically inclined, but it's never, me and my sister, we were always groomed to kind of follow the straight and narrow, the safer path, just because my parents wanted me to be secure. But yeah, I graduated college with a marketing international business degree, and I was applying to, jobs with like Target, Apple, different brands, but I really wasn't passionate about it. And I think I didn't get it because I really didn't put as much effort into it as I could have because I wanted to do something else. So yeah, when I in that weird time between graduation and like deciding where what I'm gonna do, I just started a music blog where I was just documenting a lot of the dope sounds that were coming out. This is like 2011, 2012, the blog era where a lot of artists like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Anderson .Paak, a lot of dope artists that are pretty much superstars now were just emerging. And I started documenting that on my own website, and then I started getting freelance gigs to as a journalist to write album reviews, to do interviews in person. So I would go from my hometown of Charlotte and come down to Atlanta all the time, and I would just go to every tour, every music festival I could, and speak to as many artists that I could. And from there, I was kind of addicted to just knowing what was going on as far as like new music was concerned. And I wanted to learn to mix the music I was writing about every day. So I just kind of bought a really cheap plastic controller, taught myself. And while all this is happening, most of the time I'm just on the computer, probably in the same clothes I was wearing when I woke up, just going crazy. And my mom didn't understand it, and I understood why. Now I do. She's just kind of like, you're just always in the computer. And I'm like, I'm working. So then from there, when I learned how to mix, I learned the basics. A friend of mine in College Park, a suburb of Atlanta, gave me just a shot to DJ a Christmas party. And from then on, it was just kind of like, I was addicted to it. I loved being able to provide energy through sound in a space, be able to like shift the entire mood and control that. And that was really fun. So yeah, from there, I found a accounting job here in Atlanta so that I could make this my permanent home. And I continued to DJ while I did that until DJing picked up so much that I had to kind of make a decision.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, congratulations on your journey. I also learned from you that you were the first as a Black woman in many, many, many of the places that you went to. You're a trailblazer behind turntables. How much today, how much do you think about yourself being a role model for others? Yeah, by being the first in many, many things you do.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I'm kind of disheartened that that's the case, you know, in 2021. But I am I do definitely think about that a lot, especially when it comes to how I choose to represent myself, the music I choose to play. I just try to be as true to myself as possible. There are a lot of constraints that are kind of placed on Black artists in general, as far as the genres or the music they're allowed to make or create. They love to just throw that R&B or that hip hop label on anything just because I'm a Black person doing something. And I've been very, from the beginning, even when I barely knew what I was doing, I knew I loved mixing Little Dragon with the Tribe Called Quest and then throwing in Fela Kuti. And I was just like always wanting to kind of collide worlds. And I've tried to just continue to do that to show other DJs that, especially in Atlanta, a city that's very known for one type of sound, when you dig deeper, there's so many different pockets and universes here. So I've just really tried to work with as many women as I can, especially Black women, help as whenever there's availability. Because when I first started as a DJ, a woman by the name of Princess Cut, she's very different in terms of the type of music that she plays. She's on the radio, but she looked out for me when nobody else did, and like took me around to every gig. I got to kind of learn how to conduct business in an environment where there's like a lot of misogyny and also racism. So I've been able to go to I've done the strip clubs with her where I'm assisting her there. I did, you know, very high end shops in Buckhead where, you know, you kind of feel like a prop sometimes. But yeah, I think, yeah, I try not to move like, you know, I'm a role model, but I do notice that when other Black women especially see me, they do get moved. And one of my most recent gigs, I had a woman come and just you know, just say that I was doing a great job before she left, and then another woman came up to kind of say the same thing, and then they started having their own conversation and like getting to know the similarities about each other. And I thought that was just beautiful that, you know, my presence, me being there, was able to maybe spark a connection between other people. Here's my dog click clacking.
Oh, hello, doggy. And thank you for sharing, Jaleesa. It's so powerful to hear this from you. And I'm so honored that we have a chance to work with you and learn from you about that. I also have to say that your visual setup is just stunning. And you just got a comment here from Sarah in the chat.
Oh,
I
hi,
am
Sarah.
focusing, but I'm also grooving on the symphony of purples Jaleesa has going on. It sets off her blonde locks and face so beautiful. You just needed to put that out there.
Oh, thank you,
So,
Sarah.
and I have to say, I got introduced to you by a mutual friend who sent me your contact and your Boiler Room set. That was in 2018 when you played the Boiler Room. And
Yeah.
we're going to look at this for a second. What did that mean to you to play, to DJ on this online platform, Boiler Room?
Oh man, that was I consider Boiler Room to be every DJ's like bucket list gig. And the way it came to me was really unexpected and it was random. It was like a DM, you know, the backside of your DMs that you may not see for like weeks at a time. I happened to look there and I was actually kind of discouraged in that moment. I was kind of tired, gigging a lot and feeling like I wasn't really getting anywhere. And then I just was hanging out at a party, looked at it and was like, excuse me, you know, of course I'm gonna do Boiler Room, you know. And yeah, it's really changed my life. Like that was definitely a moment where I had to make a decision because I was kind of aligned with Atlanta's typical trap sound, which I love, but I'm not completely that. I was basically an opening act for Lil Yachty, a huge rapper. And it was like I was in front of 18-year-olds, all X's on their hands. They never, I don't know if they've even seen a live DJ set before. And I know that Boiler Room is really all about being yourself, and it lives on the internet and it doesn't go away.
And here it is. This was the opening. And as you can see, 250,000 people have enjoyed the
Whew.
sets. Here's DJ Hourglass.
DJ Hourglass. Yeah. Yeah. So this one night only that Boiler Room from London chose to fuck with Atlanta. I think that's pretty tight, right? Yes, let's go. All right, so without further ado, we got my girl, DJ Hourglass!
Hourglass.
Hype us up one time. Let's go, baby.
Work crew, work crew, work crew, work crew.
I'm taking care of business, woman, can't you see?
Hourglass.
I gotta make it for you, and I gotta make it for me. Oh, sometimes
So,
you see,
Whoa.
congratulations on this. And hi, Doggy.
Thank Hey, this is Hendrix.
Hi, Hendrix. You opening with this song, I'm taking care of business, was the first line you played that night. And you could see that the 18-year-olds were like, what is going on? And
Right.
this set is so amazing because you're mixing so many styles, so many rhythms. You're going all out there. I think it's stuff that they have never heard. And you can see it right in the crowd. What do you feel when you watch this now?
I don't watch it often, but when I do, I'm happy because in the moment, like it felt incredible. I try not to look at those comments because everyone's basically like, the crowd is they suck, and I'm like, they're like, Atlanta sucks. I'm like, no, this isn't even the real city. But on the stage with me, my partner and work crew, Xavier, my entire family that I've kind of created here, they're with me, and I just smile every time I look at it because I've never felt anything like that still. The support and the love, and I felt like, the set I'm really proud of too.
Well, if you go a little bit further, you can see that the party is evolving. You know, you're really like giving people, oh, that's not what you gave people, that's advertising, but you gave people a night to not forget. You turned this into a huge party. Well, probably very, very few of the songs that people were hearing and dancing to that night, they had never heard before, right? Or they have most tracks you played, people had never heard before, and you did it. And Hendrix, oh, goodbye, Hendrix.
She was like, huh?
All right. So, Jaleesa, I have to tell you, I'm so proud that you're here. And I'm so glad that you're part of Remote Daily today. And I guess it's halftime. So after this Boiler Room experience, we're going to take a little break together with our voice of power in the room that gives us a moment to breathe, a moment of zen. She's joining us, I think, from a classroom today. Hi, Jade. Welcome to the room. Where are you?
Hi. Probably my sound's not as crisp as it usually is. I'm at the Equinox on 67th and Columbus. I'm up high. There's, what is that? 67th and Broadway intersection. I'm high in the sky. I'm gonna get you all up in the sky soon.
Oh, wonderful. It's Friday. I almost wanted to say New York City, it's Saturday night, but it's Friday at noon. And here's Jade Alexis for you. Jade, thank you so much for taking the time in between classes to take the Remote Daily community on a journey to themselves. I pass the mic to you.
Thank you. Let's all begin with a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth like a sigh of relief. Feel your lips start to breathe in and out through your nose, a little shoulder roll. So bring your right ear down to your shoulder and just roll over and back. We'll keep the eyes closed, breathe in and out of your nose as you just go from shoulder to shoulder. Let the movement be organic. You feel the stretch, maybe some crackling in the neck. Sometimes there's tension we didn't even know existed. Bring your head back through center. Find stillness. The eyes are closed. You can rest your hands on your thighs, palms face up. Breathe in and out through your nose. As you breathe in through your nostrils, imagine you are sipping the air through a pair of straws. As you take each breath in, imagine the belly was filling it, the balloon was swelling with it. Continue that breath work, breathing in through a pair of straws, the belly filling like a balloon inside. And as you take these breaths, experience each breath, the release it brings, the peace it brings, and the quiet it brings in the mind. Take a few more rounds on your own. As you gaze into your third eye center, continue to breathe this way. I want you to think of something in your life or someone that you take for granted. And in this moment, express gratitude for that person or that thing. This next moment, think of something that you have in your life, something simple, like the freedom to speak, the freedom to choose, or something like your hands, your feet. Think of something that you use daily that you really take for granted. Express gratitude. As you let that thought go, take another deep breath in through your nose. Exhale slowly out your mouth. Take a few more rounds of breath like that. As you remember your gratitude practice, when the mind is grateful, the mind is content. When the mind is content, there is peace in the heart. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale slowly. Open your eyes and smile. Thank you for the beautiful music. Thank you for your beautiful breath and your energies. Always an honor and a pleasure. Felix, I pass the mic back to you.
Thank you so very much, Jade and Dario, for this moment. And hey, this is Remote Daily. So whatever you have next to your screen, let's hydrate, let's cheer. Just to all of you who are taking the time today. Cheers and welcome to Remote Daily. Second half of Culture Fridays. Jaleesa, you don't have a drink.
I know. I left my water in my living room.
Here's one for you.
Thank you.
Jaleesa, you have toured internationally. You have played all around the US. We have heard a little bit about the variety of places you have played at. We heard strip clubs. We saw big clubs, small clubs, famous people. What performance are you most proud of to this day?
Ooh, really, what anything that I've produced with my work crew team, those are the sets I'm definitely the most proud of because we've been able to carve out our own space for our audience to kind of do whatever we love. So yeah, I have a team called Work Crew. We're based here. My partner Xavier Black, he's a DJ and kind of the head of the agency that we run. And I have another partner. His name is Jeremy Avalon. He's a house producer and also a very great DJ and guitarist. So yeah, we kind of like met. Well, they were already in Work Crew, and I kind of met them by chance. And as soon as I saw them DJ together, I was just like, "These are my people. This is where I belong." And together we've created a few events. One is kind of my baby. I call it Smothered and Covered, and it's pretty much just an ode to Atlanta Waffle House as far as, oh, you got the site up, thanks. Yeah, so Smothered and Covered is my baby. It's like basically just a mashup of genres, remixes, and sounds, and that's kind of what I tend to specialize in. So when I do that party, I love it. Yeah, I've been really proud of what we've been able to create with Wine. It's our international party. Atlanta's international scene from the Latin community to African and Caribbean. It's huge. And that party's kind of grown as a beast of its own. And the Groove is an all R&B party that is our largest, and it honestly just feels like a big hug every time I'm there. So we're gonna have that in a few weeks, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be our first time doing it since breaking COVID. So I think it's been about 15 months.
Mhm.
Yes.
And when you look at Atlanta and this, and I mean, you have had some crazy political moments. There's a lot going on in your city. What is something about the cultural scene there that you think most people outside of Atlanta, or maybe even in Atlanta, are not aware of, and we all should be aware of?
Yeah, I think that Atlanta is a very Black city, but there's so many different cultural groups here, and because of that, there's a lot of different cultures here. And I think even in Atlanta, like if you when I first moved here for the first 2 years, I only kind of went to the stuff that I could easily find or that other people would tell me about. That was pretty surface. And then the deeper I got into the city, the more I became proud of it, the more I fell in love because there's just so many different communities here. I think that's the number one takeaway is just Atlanta's incredibly rich in culture. And thankfully, I don't think that it's been abused. I don't think it's been exploited, but I think there's still a lot to showcase and discover.
And Eleanor is actually throwing in Ricardo and the Creative Village, which I think is an actual physical place for artists in Atlanta. Are you aware of that movement as well?
No, I'm not. You said the Creative Village?
Yeah, RYSE Creative Village, and
nice.
maybe Eleanor, you want to point to that and tell us what's going on in Atlanta that you're a part of or you know about. Oh, sorry, we can't hear you.
Hi. I don't know so much. It's something that I would imagine Julissa might be interested in, that we all might be interested in, and a friend of our mutual friend is leading or involved with a project in Atlanta, which is called the, I don't know if they say RYSE or Rice Creative Village, but it's something that is on my radar that I thought that I mentioned to Julissa briefly before we started the session today, and I was curious if she knew something about it, if you knew something about it, but maybe something that we could talk about in another session that's part of what's happening in Atlanta.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricardo's awesome. I think there's also like a great collective. It's called Invest Atlanta. They actually had a few grants for creatives, for business owners during COVID, and it kind of helped me get along, through this time. They also do provide a lot of homeowner benefits. So there's a lot of initiatives here in Atlanta to kind of help with the gentrification and inequalities, because you said Atlanta's a lot cheaper than New York, but we're coming for you. It's starting to get crazy here.
Oh wow! So did you see an uptick over the last couple of months?
Oh yeah, definitely an uptick in rent and housing prices. It's a lot of that happening.
Leonor?
I have one more question, unplanned, jumping in. So just, I guess, I don't know so many people in Atlanta. I know now you for 5 minutes, and I know Ricardo, but I know that you both are involved in a lot of different endeavors, and you are both DJs, producers, performers, but you also have, both of you, very strong backgrounds in business, so I'm wondering if that's something that is also happening in Atlanta, that there are you exemplary of a kind of presence of people who wear multiple hats?
Yes, I think Atlanta, I think honestly, a lot of the hats that I wear now, they kind of came out of necessity because certain infrastructures just aren't in place yet. And I think, yeah, it's pretty indicative of almost every creative in Atlanta. When I think of anyone, they do wear multiple hats. Like if they have a message, if we have a message we want to get out, we kind of have to start on our own and kind of build the groundwork before we can like attach on or collaborate with different groups. But yeah, I think that's part of what makes Atlanta beautiful. There are like so many different collisions of like film, music, tech, and even charitable work as well.
And Jaleesa, what is as a DJ, you have to listen and go through so much music. And of course, everything is digital, everything is shared today. Can you share maybe one main inspiration of yours that you use maybe every day, even to find new music?
Sorry, could you repeat that? Is it a source or a person?
Yeah, maybe there's a blog, a newsletter, an account,
Oh,
a
yeah.
person you follow. How do you source? What is maybe a source that you can reveal?
Yeah, a platform that I really love, especially through COVID, is Bandcamp. It's pretty much a platform for independent artists, and I love how they have it set up. They've done something where the last Friday, I believe, of every month, they'll allow the artists to obtain 100% of the sales that they get on that day. So I spent a lot of money on there on that last Friday. But Bandcamp's a great platform, one, because like once you support an artist, they kind of always keep you up to date with what they're doing. So I have a lot of there are a lot of producers on Bandcamp that create remixes and edits, and I used to use SoundCloud for that a lot, but Bandcamp kind of sends you cute emails that aren't too intrusive. They go on my promo side. I just go through those. If an artist is releasing something or sending a message or selling merch, they streamline it very well. And then they have a lot of dope articles where they really break down subgenres and showcase the hottest talent. So I really enjoy Bandcamp. I use that a lot. And other than that, I really I use Instagram, dancers on Instagram a lot for the party sets, especially when it comes to finding out what's hot. I'm starting to get a little older, in my 30s now. So sometimes it's I can't gauge the temperature on everything and to see if I play this, is this actually going to get the reaction that I'm hoping? So I rely on dancers a lot because they kind of spearhead the culture in terms of movement.
Is there a dancer that you can recommend to us? Maybe
Yes.
just one that comes to mind.
Yeah, on Instagram, her name is CeCe Bandit. It's CeCe Bandit, like a robber, I guess. But she's an incredible dancer. Her and her partner Kim, they just throw a video out every day, and it's usually Afrobeat or Caribbean music. And they've kind of helped us tap into the Atlanta dance scene a lot. They host a lot of our events, and yeah, she's incredible. They also do a lot in New York.
Okay, CeCe Bandit. Thanks, John, for digging it up in the feed. CeCe Bandit is one of the many dancers that elderly DJs like Jaleesa, who are in their early 30s, are looking out for inspiration. I think you are very much ahead of the curve. I don't think you have to worry at all. But it's great to know that you are following dancers as a source of inspiration. We have a dancer on the team at Remote Daily, and CC Bandit's account is here in case you want to follow. Thanks, John, for digging this up, and see where Jaleesa partly gets her inspiration from. Jaleesa, I would just love to ask you for music recommendations, but I think the best way to do that is just having you close the hour for us today and bring us into the weekend. Before we do that, how can we support you? How can we support your work? How can we support your crew? How can we do that?
Oh, wow. Thank you. Yeah, so my socials, it's pretty much a gateway into everything that I have going on and Work Crew has going on. So like on Instagram, it's DJ Hourglass, workcrew.com, which is there. That showcases a lot of our agency work, a lot of our upcoming events, and the other members of my crew that are doing amazing things. I'm actually going to kick off with my partner Xavier Black's new single with a reggaeton artist called Cat on the Move. So yeah, just DJ Hourglass. You can follow me there, and there's just a Linktree hub to everything else in my universe.
Fantastic. And it's also in the chat. Thank you, Sammy. There are contribution links. There is recent press, and the recent press, guess what it is? Artists to look out for, because this is what you're part of, Jaleesa. You're part of the future. And thank you so much for being here today. We always give the mic to our guest for the last word on Remote Daily, but we'll do that after you ring us out into the weekend before we say goodbye. So the next, I would say 5 to 8 minutes are all yours, all
Awesome.
ears to your turntables.
Cool. So this is Vibra Sana. This is all about healing vibes. That's what the translation of that is. It's by Xavier Black, a member of Work Crew.
Work Crew, Hourglass. Precio para aquí juro, nunca me olvido de dónde vengo. Pieza de arte y no tengo precio. No hay quien me monte presión. Quieren confundirme, pero yo sé quién soy. No me estén llamando para saber dónde estoy. Con la mente clara yo sé para dónde voy. La nueva ley empezando de hoy. Siempre en alta, nunca en baja. 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 Yeah. Tiguera, cortando el instrumental como una tijera. Caliento el ambiente, quien tire se va a quemar. Quien me está retando, dime quién se va a tirar. Si tú tienes hambre, yo te vine a alimentar. Por más que tú quieras, no se pueden igualar. Vengo con la fuerza y no me pueden parar. Con la conexión a mí no me pueden cortar. Para mi turno yo no vine a fallar. Esta es la vibra que sana. Tu café por la mañana. Desayuno en la cama. Siempre en alta, nunca en baja.
This is a friend of mine, Spree Wilson. He's been an artist here in Atlanta for decades. This is the song Evergreen.
I rolled up, you showed up. Now ain't you glad that I called? There ain't no attitude when we do kiss. I'm feeling medicated with your coolness. Wonder why make me feel so high. Evergreen, evergreen. Do you feel it when you close your eyes? Evergreen, evergreen. Open up, let me light that fire. 'Cause you're everything, everything, everything.
Love spilling, heart feeling, up to the brim, can't contain this feeling. You did it.
Another artist out of Atlanta that I really appreciate. Her name's Young Baby Tate. She's a rapper and an amazing singer. Her mother is actually Grammy Award winner Deion Ferris.
Like that. I've been thinking about you, baby. How you used to play me like a fool. Yeah, often, honestly too often. I just kept on coming back to you. Yeah, and I wonder why, I don't know. Why I just keep on falling for you when you never try. It's a ego, keep on pushing me further from you. Do me right, but that ain't what you're like. You rather sit and fight while I'm in my life because I'm full of love and you looking like a knife, and that is why you got my love.
Hourglass. This is the artist that was actually introducing me on my Boiler Room set. Her name is Bosco. She's an original member of Work Crew. Very creative. She has an agency called Slug. She's definitely someone that wears multiple hats.
It is so easy. Let's live tonight. Come float away with me. Living our romance before time fades away. Candles in the skies, open up our eyes, just hold on to me. We can go to paradise, you and
This next artist, his name is Flower Child, out of Atlanta. He's a very talented producer, singer. There's a lot of great R&B, great dance music, and international music coming out of the city.
Work crew.
Getting into house, this is my partner Jeremy Avalon and Treasure Fingers. Treasure Fingers is a legend in dance music out of Atlanta. This is their single Rum and Bass. Love playing songs that say work in it. Feel free to dance, man.
Baby, I like it. I want you to take your broom and sweep my yard. You better brush it good, or we go fall apart. Don't give me no shortcut thing. You have all day and night. I had to satisfy, so you better do it right. What you waiting for? Put your back in it. Just a little more. Throw your waist in it now. Tell your body you're 10. Walk it hard and long. When you finish that, how are you go downtown? Go down, go down, go down. Come up, come up,
This
come
is
up.
true Atlanta bass beat right here.
Go down, go down, go down, go down. Come up, come up, come up, come up. Oh yes, yes, baby. I like the work you do on my yard. You do a real good work, yard man.
You say you never had it good, babe. I guess you never knew I could, babe. But if you let me into you, babe, I can work it till you do, babe. In the morning, I can freak it like you want it. If you like it real cheap, I can freak it
maybe you now understand why everybody in the world wants to work with DJ Hourglass. Our guest today on Remote Daily, wow. I think I would marry again just to have you, Jaleesa, playing at the party.
Hey, let's renew
What can
those
I add to
vows.
that, Kai? Thank you so very much for being our guest today, Jaleesa, aka
you.
DJ Hourglass. And make sure to catch up with Jaleesa's parties with the Atlanta scene and with the New York scene on September 10th when we have the Remote Daily Get Together. Jaleesa, invite is going out to you. I hope to see you there, and I hope to see you in the world. This was Remote Daily. I wish you all a good weekend. Jaleesa, last word is on you. What you would like to share with this community?
Oh man, Hourglass, man, the lifestyle and message I try to preach, not preach, but think outside the clock. We really don't know how much time we have. So please, whatever you do, make sure that it is meaningful to you.